Side Scroll is brought to you by you. If you'd like to support the show, head over to patreon.com/sidescrollers. It's time for Side Scrollers on YouTube.com with me, Stuttering Craig. I like movies that have sand in them. Wow.
He doesn't like it in his mouth.
And producer extraordinaire, Travis Key.
I don't like the texture in my mouth.
What? And brought to you by you, the G2 community at patreon.com/sidescrollers. And now, broadcasting from our homes, it's time for the #1 gaming and entertainment podcast on planet Earth. It's time for Side Scrollers.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, welcome on out to Side Scrollers on YouTube.com, especially Rumble.com and Twitch.tv. What's going on, everybody? Hey, I'm Stuttering Craig. Happy Tuesday to you. It is a wonderful day in the neighborhood as we got a great show ahead of us. So much to talk about. My God. Travis is out today, but joining us as always, straight from Guam, Blabs. Hello, Blabs. How are you? Look at that fake ass smile. Not even trying.
Fake ass or great ass?
Fake ass. It's good. Your teeth so white. Your teeth so white.
I brush them like 2 or 3 times a day.
Do you really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You know that brushing your teeth is like one of the worst things you could do to your teeth.
What? No, if you
That's
use
all made
crappy
up.
chemicals.
It's all made up, Blabs.
No, if you use crappy
Big
chemicals, sure.
toothpaste.
But if you take good care of them, floss and all that mouthwash.
Big toothpaste coming at your ass. That's right. It's ridiculous.
That's preparation H, isn't it?
No, damn it, Blabs. Joining us today after racing around the oval the past weekend and ending up in an utter crash. It's Cam. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing good. Yes,
Yeah.
no. By the way, Craig is right. Brushing your teeth is actually bad for you. The best thing you can do is eat that ass, which is what I do.
Oh,
I
didn't think
Greg was talking about Remy's.
yeah, I wasn't like going there.
Well,
but...
it's the pH balance. It's weird.
Okay.
Something acidic breaks down like the tar on your teeth. Yeah.
Okay.
Labs knows what I'm talking about.
I really don't. I'll be honest with you. I'm not about that Remy life.
Okay. What a great way to start. That's right. What an excellent way to start. Cam, how you doing, man? I know you're a little beat up.
I'm doing good. I was like hopped up on a lot of ibuprofen for like the last couple of days, but I'm doing pretty good today. My black eyes finally kind of going away. I put a cold compress on it. It was good, man.
Well, for those who don't know, you got in an accident this weekend while you're doing your race cars. It was a pretty major accident.
Yeah, it was the biggest one I've ever had. And like basically we were going around the track. I was giving it the full beans, full kilt, and I come off turn 4 and I get sideways and I'm like, oh shit. Because this happens a lot, but it was like real. I was going fast because it's kind of a big ass track. So I get sideways and I start, sliding for a while, and then I correct it, and then I come back the other way, and then I like kind of start pointing almost straight, and then I stop. And I was like, well, thank God. And I remember thinking to myself, how like I look, I look down. I'm like, all right, cool, it's all good. And I was like, thank God no one hit me. And as soon as I like had that thought leave my mind, I like everything went black.
Really? So
and I like remember just like I don't remember what I did. I like maybe screamed. I don't remember. And then I like look down and everything's like beeping. It's like the World War II, man. Like a grenade went off. Like it's like, ee! And I'm like looking down to see if my limbs are still attached and shit. Wow. And I was like, whew. Well, at least I'm all right. And then I try to breathe and I can't breathe. And it's been a long time since my breath got knocked out of me, so it was weird. But yeah, then I basically came full back, and then there was just people surrounding the car because it apparently looked terrible.
Right.
So they're like,
Right.
"You okay?" Or, "Oh my god, oh Jesus."
Well, I mean,
And I'm-
here's I can't pull it up because I don't have Instagram pulled. I don't know. I'm not logged into Instagram, but I mean, here it is right here. You can see this guy running his ass into your ass or running his face
yeah,
into your ass. That's scary
I'm
as shit, man.
I'm just flying through the air like a
Wow.
free bird.
So you get hit, you go black. How long were you out?
Oh, it was. I don't think I was out at all. It was just one of those things where like I voluntarily closed my eyes as everything went. It's like a roller coaster, man. It was crazy. I wish I could explain it better, but it was so fast.
But
And,
no injuries, no internal injuries.
No, just like it hurt to breathe real bad for like 3 days from like bruised ribs, shit. A little bit beat up on my face. My neck, I had a crick in my neck and couldn't really turn it left or right for a few days, and then just a headache for a couple of days. But now I'm good. We're on to the next. I got another sponsor just because of it, because they thought the wreck was cool. So like, let me sponsor your car for the
wow.
next. And I'm like, well, hell yeah.
Good for you.
It pays to fly through the air and almost die.
Fellow Black.
What's that?
How do you do, Fellow Black?
Yeah.
Dude, it said this for a long time. Dude, I went on a stream with Nick Ricada, maybe, and it was Black History Month, and it was attorney. Oh, I forget his name. It was a lawyer. I think Flawed was there, and Quarter Black Garrett maybe, or Eric. I don't remember who it was. God, it's
Garrett doesn't count. He's only quarter.
No, it was another guy that wants to be on my stream a lot, and I keep not setting it up for some reason. Anyways, yeah, so I put Fellow Black on there, and it's just been that way for since then. Pretty funny.
Awesome. Well, man, obviously, I think we're all glad you're okay. I mean, you know, that's got to put things in perspective, though. I mean, you say you don't want to make it to 50, but what if you don't even get, you know, I mean, that guy could cut it short real quickly.
Yeah. Well, so the track's 5/8 of a mile, so it's a fairly large track for what we do. So I probably got hit going about 110, maybe. But I mean, next year we'll probably race on a couple of large tracks, like big ass tracks. And I'm thinking to myself, man, you get hit like that somebody going 160. God, I can't even imagine.
I mean, did it change your perspective on that? I mean, the idea of like, I only want to live to 50. I'm going to go hard, blah, 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 blah. Like when you got hit like that, and I mean, really, like it could have ended right then. Does that make you go, oh shit, this is actually pretty nice? Or nah, double down.
Yeah, I'm ready. You could put me in a car tomorrow at like Talladega, and I would give it hell. I don't give a damn.
Okay. Love it.
Whatever.
Then go get it. Go get it. Well, we're glad you're all right, buddy. We're glad you're here. It's good. And we're glad you guys are here too. Thanks so much for popping in. We just passed 44,000 subscribers over here on YouTube, up 6,000 in the last 2 weeks, guys. Really appreciate that. Also, make sure you guys hit the follow button over on Rumble, which is great. We have a Twitter account at SidescrollerPod you can follow, and an Instagram, right, Blabs?
Yeah, we're closing in on 500 followers on Instagram. So if you're not following us, do it.
Cool. Our goal, as always, is 300 likes every single episode and 20 memberships. Can we get to that number today? We're on a 2-day drought right now. Let's see if we can bump those rookie numbers up today and get to that 20 memberships today. You can also support us over at patreon.com/sidescrollers. And today, starting about 30, 45 minutes after the stream is over, I, over on the Side Scrollers Plays channel, will begin the next Funathon on, oh my God, I announced yesterday and I'm beyond excited about it, Mega Man. That's right. We're starting, it says tomorrow, but it's actually today because I didn't update the graphic. But yes, we're starting on Mega Man 1, and we're going to work our way through over on the Side Scrollers Plays channel. Look forward to seeing you guys over there. It's going to be really, really fun. And once again, you don't support me, you support Side Scrollers when you go over there and you watch that stuff. So join us over there. Link is down in the description. We got a lot of stories to talk about today. We're going to talk about, so we got some Twitch stuff. We got some Kick stuff. Cam, I want to get into your story, your bigger story, how you were kind of attacked on Twitter. We're going to get into that. We're also going to talk about a Major League Baseball player who was attacked and exonerated. Did you guys see that?
No, although I feel like I've heard about it.
Okay, this is mind blowing. Tupac's murderer has been arrested, which is crazy.
Saw that.
And we have a Super Mario Wonder just 2 weeks out from the release, an NES D-Make commercial, which I wanted to share with you guys in just a second. And potentially joining us today, Steph, my nerdy home, could be joining us to talk about Bungie getting roasted on Twitter after just the ultimate in virtue signaling, which was outstanding. But right now it's time for my favorite segment, your favorite segment, everybody in the world's favorite segment. It's time for Hard News. Thank you, Adam. Thank you, Paul. All right, let's start off with this sweet little commercial. Mario Wonder is coming out in 2 weeks from today. I'm going to be doing a playthrough of it. I'm going to start playing it. I'm not going to stop playing it until I beat it. And that's kind of the last little remnants of the Mario Funathon that started way back in May. But with the Mario Wonder being released, I don't know. Cam, what's your thoughts on Mario Wonder? You excited for this thing?
Man, I don't know. I'm not excited for nothing, Craig, ever. I'm all over
That's
it.
the spirit.
Dude, it's like it's like every year, it's like Mario Magic and a half, like Princessy Fairy. And I'm like, dude, I don't give a fuck. Like, it just needs to be Mario, just Super Mario Brothers 18. Like, just stop being with the wonder and the magic. Do I look like a gay? Don't answer that, Craig. But I'm not.
Oh.
Do I look like gay? I don't need no wonder in my life, all right? I got plenty of wonder. Okay.
I didn't know that.
You associate gay with wonder?
Yes.
Where?
Yes.
How?
Labs. There's a strip club in my town.
Is it called Wonder?
It's called Wonder Men, and it's just nothing but penises.
Did you used to work there?
No, but they got every guy has great abs. They all go to my gym, and none of them are gay except one guy. No, they're all straight as hell except for one guy. He's gay. But
good for him. He's at the right place then.
He is.
When you walk in, is it just a bunch of dudes doing the helicopter?
Yeah. Well, that's like the real spicy stuff. So basically they'll have like a shirt on and they'll have their business suit on and they get up on stage with their damn glasses and they'll slowly pull everything off till they're down into like a thong. But like at the end of the night after midnight, they'll start pulling their willies out. But all the dudes, okay, so this is the messed up thing about the economy, right? Like, because it's a cutthroat world, Craig, right? So every single dude that works there is a straight guy, except for one guy. And every single dude there will be like, hey, I saw you throw money at me. You want me to go home with you? They will take the PP for the money. All right.
That's not straight, Cam.
No, they have wives and they're trying to make money, Craig.
They have wives.
I would listen, Blabs. No shit. If I was at a strip club and I was too good for the money, I was being like Craig, and I was like, but some dude came up, he drove him in his Ferrari, and he's like $100,000. All you gotta do is bend over, bro. I've been over twice. That's a lot of money.
Like, I got lube, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, like, hey, dude, what are you gonna make fun of me whilst I'm in my Ferrari? Blabs, no, I'm gonna be driving off.
I mean, I have morals. I wouldn't get fucked literally just for Ferrari. I'm just saying.
You are a female.
So?
That's easy. You already do it for free, probably. Like,
no, I don't. Thank you very much.
Just do it. Fuck it. Take the money and run.
Go
on, take the money and run.
That's pretty cool. Try it.
Go on, take the money. That's what I'm gonna do. I will not shame away. I'm ready. If anybody in the chat, you got $100,000, bro.
You know, like the whole dance routine to Raining Man, because I feel like you do at this point.
Hey, Cam. I got news for you. Man.
I got news for you. That means you're gay.
I'm sorry, Cam. I think that's just the truth of it, man.
But I would gladly
yes,
be
but
gay.
Exactly, but
yes,
I would gladly be gay whilst in my Ferrari, for sure.
You have no self-respect.
Who cares?
Or standards. It's sad.
Look, Blabs. There goes the gay guy, and then your friends would be like, "But he's in an F430 Scud. He's in an F430 Scud, Blabs.
I don't care.
You can call a man gay for driving a Scud? No, you can call him manly. Look at that manly Scud guy. I didn't know he was gay this whole time.
Yeah, most people who do all that stuff have little teeny tiny dicks. Oh, it's fine.
Oh my
Well, yeah, that's
God.
why I already have one supercar, so that makes sense. Yeah.
Poor
over.
Craig.
Hey, listen. So Mario Wonder's coming out in 2 weeks. and this wonderful Brazilian friend went out and made a commercial for it. You guys want to see it real quick? Because it'll get us
What,
off
Dan
this
made a
topic.
commercial?
No. This is not Dan Vasc, but it might as well be with his horrible accent. Let's check it out. Here it is. This is great stuff. I enjoyed this.
It's coming to you, Nintendo. A new adventure. It's more powerful. It's more exciting. It's more dangerous. It's more unexpected. Join Mario and friends in this new challenge. Defeat more enemies. Get new powers. You've never seen an adventure like this. Super Mario Brothers Wonder. Only for Nintendo. Now you're playing with power.
Love it. There you go. I just thought that was always fun. It's always fun to look at that stuff. I love little demakes like that.
They need to like actually release it though.
Oh, the NES version?
Yeah, with the cart and everything. That'd be cool.
Yeah, no, for sure. That like yeah, it's messy, man. Or it's I would love to see a demake of Mario, and somebody will do that. I know they did a Mario Odyssey demake where you're throwing Mario's hat and stuff. Somebody will go out there. I say they, I mean like the retro modding community. They'll go out there and make it, which is great. All right, I just thought we'd start off with a nice little lighthearted thing before we get into this.
Yeah, right after all that, lighthearted.
Oh no, it's about to get serious. Get into some serious shit.
Serious.
Okay. All right. So I want to start. We're actually going to move over to sports here. Okay. Because look, this is a gaming and entertainment podcast, but this is a societal issue here. All right. And I want to talk about this. Let's go to ESPN really quick and talk about this. So there was a pitcher named Trevor Bauer. Okay. Trevor Bauer is a former Cy Young Award winner, meaning he was the best pitcher in the league. Have you ever heard of this guy, Cam?
I have not.
Okay. He was the best pitcher in Major League Baseball, and he was cut by the Los Angeles Dodgers while still being amazing, right? But he had been suspended for 324 games at one point. That is a season and a half for allegations based on sexual allegation. Sexual assault, allegations of sexual assault. Mm-hmm. Okay. He was suspended for a season and a half. It was reduced to 194 games, which was like about a season and 50 games or so. Right. But he was docked pay this entire time. So then he was eventually cut ties with, all based off of allegations. Okay. Later, he went to court and he was cleared of the allegations. And no one in Major League Baseball would touch him. No one wanted to sign him simply because the allegations, which were proven in court, didn't happen, right? So what happened last night, he went out and released a video that after 2 years, he said he can finally talk about it. This has currently 44 million impressions on X, and it's a video that's 3 minutes and 51 seconds long. But I wanted to talk about this today because this is a dangerous issue that is happening in specifically America right now. And when you look at this, I have no idea how anybody can look at this and be like, yeah, okay, you know, he shouldn't be suing everybody that comes after him. So let's just go and watch this video. And I said it's 2 years later, and I can finally talk about this. So this is him. By the way, he currently pitches in Japan, because he's literally not welcome to pitch in the United States. Okay. This is the best pitcher in baseball.
Next victim, star pitcher for the Dodgers. A text Lindsey Hill sent to a friend before she ever even met me. What should I steal? She asked another in reference to visiting my house for the first time. The answer? Take his money. So how might that work? I'm going to his house Wednesday, she said. I already have my hooks in. You know how I roll. Then, after the first time we met, net worth is 51 mil, she said. Bitch, you better secure the bag, was the response. But how is she going to do that? Need daddy to choke me out, she said. Being an absolute whore to try to get in on his 51 million, read another text. Then, after the second time we met, former Padres pitcher Jacob Nix told her, "You got to get this bag." "I'll give you 50,000," Lindsay replied. Her AA sponsor asked her at one point, "Do you feel a tiny bit guilty?" "Not really," she replied. Since then, her legal team has approached me multiple times about coming to a financial settlement. But as I have done since day one, I refuse to pay her even a single cent.
Okay, so you can see the setup here. What happened, right? Where this girl was in it. She was gonna make a play for money. She went in for the money. She literally, she went in and this was all a play for money and extortion the entire time. And this guy, and we're gonna finish the rest of this, but this guy lost his entire career.
Yeah.
What are you saying, Cam?
I was just gonna say I didn't wake up this morning prepared to just like hate women, but now I do again.
No. That's not what.
It's been a whole week, Craig.
He's
It's been a
gay.
whole week where I was like, you know what? Maybe they're not too bad. And then I come on side scrollers, and he's like, "So check out this woman, what she's doing." I'm like, "Oh, great, I hate him again." Thanks. Damn it, Blabs, leave now. How dare you be here in my presence?
That's not what we're trying to do here at all. As a father of two daughters, I don't want you to hate women at all, right? You need to respect women, but there are also women who are just straight up bitches. And
That's all of them. Yeah, I agree.
Let's go continue.
In August of 2021, Lindsay Hill's claims were heard in court. And during those legal proceedings, critical information was deliberately and unlawfully concealed from me and my legal team. Information like this video, which was taken by Lindsay Hill herself the morning after she claimed she was brutally attacked, emotionally traumatized, and desperate to get away from me. And now we have the metadata, so there can be no dispute. It was taken mere minutes before she left my house on the morning of May 16th, 2021, without my knowledge or consent, of course. In it, you can see her lying in bed next to me while I'm sleeping, smirking at the camera without a care in the world, or any marks on her face. I think it paints a pretty clear picture of what actually happened the evening of May 15th and why the video was originally concealed from us. After hearing the evidence available to her, Judge Diana Gold-Saltman found that Lindsay Hill had misled the court. She found her claims to be materially misleading. She denied her request for a domestic violence restraining order, and she found that no sexual assault or non-consensual conduct took place. Now, some of you might not know about restraining order hearings. I know I didn't, but I've since learned that it's extremely rare for a request for a restraining order to be denied because the standard of proof that you need to obtain one is extremely low. So you can make of that what you will. The fact is, I was never arrested. I was never charged with a crime, and I won the only legal proceeding that took place without my side of the story even being heard. And most importantly, as I've said from day one, I never sexually assaulted Lindsay Hill, or anyone else for that matter. So I sued her, which prompted her to countersue me. Quite frankly, regardless of the outcome in court, I've paid significantly more in legal fees than Lindsay Hill could ever pay me in her entire life. And I knew that would be the case going in. But the lawsuit was never about the money for me. It was the only way for me to obtain critical information to clear my name. The discovery process in that lawsuit recently concluded, at which point Lindsay Hill's legal team again came to us with another proposal to resolve the case. This time, however, they weren't seeking any money from me. Having received much of the information that had been hidden from us, a small portion of which I've referenced here, I was willing to agree to the terms proposed. Both parties would drop their respective lawsuits, and neither of us would pay either side any money. I also retained my right to speak publicly about the case, something I have not been at liberty to do since June of 2021. So, as of today, both lawsuits have been settled. Now, over the last 2 years, I've been forced to defend my integrity and my reputation in a very public setting. But hopefully this is the last time I have to do so, as I'd prefer to just remain focused on doing my job, winning baseball games and entertaining fans around the world. So today, I'm happy to be moving on with my life.
So there's the video. And keep in mind, this story, when he was cut ties, when this came out, this was wall-to-wall coverage on ESPN, non-stop coverage. They spent full hours talking about Trevor Bauer, the horrible alleged sexual assaulter. He's going out causing all this. And if he did it to her, how many can he, she can't be the only one, right? Well, she was in fact not one, as shown. And guess where ESPN has led with this story today? Guess how often they've talked about it?
Maybe
None.
one.
None.
Yeah. It's not as
None.
spicy anymore because the man is now the victim, and that's just gay.
When you look at their top headlines right now on ESPN.com, their top headlines right here, it's not even included on their top headlines, which is the saddest thing about this. And this is why I think people look at media and they say, what the fuck is happening? Because you would think that they would want to say, hey, we really fucked up here. And this guy's life who was literally ruined after signing a major deal and having it totally canceled. We played a part in that and we apologize. But they can't do that because then they're opening themselves up to lawsuits, which is the craziest thing about this. So I just wanted to, I saw that, and I think that a lot of men will look at this, and there's been this talk for the last several years that, believe all women. Blabs, what are your thoughts on believe all women?
I think this actually is shitty because this one makes actual victims, like female victims and male victims, not like fake, like, oh, everyone's lying about it nowadays. And also this one just makes all women look like shit, and honestly just inspires other women to be catty and bitches and do the exact same thing as she did, where she goes and ruins some man's life for money. That's all it is. It's inspiring bad behavior. It's not inspiring anyone to be truthful and be like respectful towards each other. It's just finances.
Do y'all feel, and Steph from Steph is going to join us. Let's bring in My Nerdy Home in. Hey, Steph, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing good. Thank you.
I'm glad you're here. How was G&G Daily?
It was good. It was good. It ended on time, and then I had to blow dry my hair, and it takes me forever. So I put on a hat.
Well, we're going to get into the Bungie story in a minute, but did you hear any of what we're talking about here with this Trevor Bauer stuff?
No.
Okay. Well,
I was not able to hear it. Sorry.
The long and short of it is there was a woman who accused a baseball player of sexual assault. It was totally proven false. And he came out and pretty much showed the details last night, and it has, I think 44 million impressions over on Twitter. It's a very viral post over on Twitter. And there's a video talking through it. And I think the bigger discussion here is in a situation like this, where a woman claims something happened, it's very clear. And by the way, women or men, right? If a woman or men claims something happens, it very clearly, evidence shows that it never occurred, right? Do you feel like there should be blowback?
Legal ramifications? Yes,
ramifications?
I do. Yeah, legal ramifications. Yes, absolutely. Because a lot of times people won't listen or look up a follow-up to the accusation. They won't look at whether or not the accusation is true or false. I mean, look what happened to Johnny Depp. That completely derailed his career for years. And then, in court, granted, they're both two, I think, terrible people, but in court, it was proven that like Amber Heard was actually the abuser. And then you have the Justice for Johnny Depp movement years after his life just derailed, after he was dropped from multiple projects, after he was dropped from like multiple sponsors. And, a lot of people were invested in that, but just think of all the people who have been accused who are just accused. Maybe you hear this story and then you don't hear the follow-up to it. Then you're just like, oh yeah, that guy was like accused of that. And you don't know, you don't look into it. You just hear the accusation. Their lives are completely changed because of that. Look at Russell Brand. Russell Brand is going through it right now. He doesn't even know who to blame because they're anonymous accusations for him. So it's really terrible that like both men and women can just go out and accuse someone. And, if it's proven false, there aren't any accusations or there aren't any ramifications to it. So, yeah, I think that if there are legal ramifications to a false accusation, that'll make them like at least limit the amount of false accusations that come forward.
It's the presumption of innocence is pretty much dead.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the biggest issue here is, and like you said, there's no legal ramifications. I think a woman that is proved like irrefutably wrong Like she's made this shit up. Like this chick right here, 100%. It's like the evidence is all there. She should serve half the time that he would have served if he was found guilty and charged by like the state. That's what should happen. And she should like
She
have
should
to
be fined. She should be fined.
relinquish all of her money, Steph. All of it. Every damn green cent gone forever.
Mhm.
And like what Craig said, he's like, why is it that on the front page of ESPN every single day you got this dude being dragged through the mud, and as soon as everything comes out, they stop talking
Nothing.
about it.
Nothing.
Well, it's very important. One, they got to toe a certain line. ESPN, the largest owner in ESPN is the Hearst Communications Company. This company, okay, owns a lot of stakes in a lot of other companies, and they're partnered with Disney. They have to toe the damn line. They can't come out and say, well, actually, it turns out she was a lying whore. Because as soon as they do that, then all these other companies like, you can't say that. Women are
Right.
victims, and we gotta make sure BlackRock and Vanguard understand that we're on their team because we need that freaking finance money from ESPN. Please, God, don't say
But-
anything. What are you doing?
Yeah. The update will probably be like a footnote in a previous article that they printed.
Yeah. Even if that happens.
Even if that, yeah.
And there's more. I mean, there's less evidence with this guy than there is with Russell Brand. There's like a few things about the Russell Brand thing that some people can look at and try to look at it objectively and be like, well, maybe we need to talk about this, even though I think it's all bullshit. There are things that this dude had nothing. Just her saying, yeah, he slapped my ass cheek, and then he gets fired. Everybody's fired. He's suspended for 356 games. He's docked pay. Dude, I swear to God, after he's docked that pay, okay, he should be awarded that pay from her, from the state, and then she gets her wages garnished until the day she stops damn breathing. And then also, for the games he was suspended, she should serve a day in jail at the very minimum for every single game he was suspended, at the minimum. Maybe a week per game.
What if, just an
Yeah, there should
idea,
be repercussions, absolutely.
the idea that if you are, the idea of garnishing someone's wages, I don't, it's an interesting idea, right? But the idea of saying if you're willing to ruin somebody's life and you were to take their savings and then put it towards a charity that helped women who had been sexual assault victims or something along those lines, and actually went towards something good.
Well, it should be like required community service for a woman who makes false accusations like that to actually go and speak with these women. It should be required community service or required what is it when you get together? I can't remember, like a moderation or something like that. Like classes go with these women who've actually gone through it, because it is something that changes your life. It changes your perspective. It changes everything. It changes how you live if you go through something like that.
Well, the most important thing, Steph, is you're right. The unfortunate truth is that these people, advocates and activists, don't care about the actual people.
No, they don't.
They would look at so one of those people could come in right now, like during this trial, and be like, what? Like I've experienced SA like violently, and it ruined my entire life mentally, like relationships with families, suitors, everything going forward. This is what I went through in graphic detail. And the activists and stuff that are standing, writing notes and trying to get some spicy headlines for their like journalistic companies, they're going to be sitting there like, who's this girl? She needs to leave. Why is she here? I don't care about this bullshit. What is this? They don't care. None of them care. And like, there's probably not a single person that is in these positions that are on that side that actually care at all. It's all about that money, son.
Yeah,
you're not.
They don't view you as a person. You're viewed as a
100%.
number, as a check. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's when you go to ESPN.com and you search his name and you look at the articles, once again, associated with Trevor Bauer, the most recent one is 4 months ago. And it talks about the detail with the woman accuser. So like, they're not even up to date on that, which is the most fascinating thing about this. It just goes to a larger conversation attached to these allegations that are thrown out. Once again, men or women, I don't care. If someone's throwing out false allegations, they should pay the price for that. And I don't know. This is a reoccurring thing that we've seen over social media and in our society the last 10, 15, 20 years. We gotta something has to be pressed forward. I don't know who introduces a bill or who introduces a law or something. I don't care if it comes from left, right, middle, or in between. I could care less, but somebody needs to introduce some sort of legislation that puts penalties towards false allegations. And it's amazing.
Or at least some kind of protections act for people that are currently either in litigation or under an allegation stage where their job or their position in whatever company or stakeholdership is completely safe under the law. And if somebody, it could be seen as discrimination. If somebody terminates somebody, their contract, their future work, or their stakeholders position, anything they have, if it's terminated, then the company can be held liable, especially in the event that they're proven wrong in a court of law. So it's kind of like discrimination. Like, you can't get fired. Like, it doesn't matter what state you're in, even at will states. If you're fired for discrimination at any job, that's a wrongful termination. Doesn't matter what state you're in, right? So there needs to be something like that. If there's going to be no repercussions for women being sniveling bitches, then we need men, but come on, Greg. But like, still, like, there needs to be something done, like some kind of protections act for people that are in that stage. Like, this guy should have, under this act, he's protected, can serve out his time at the team, and they can't terminate him for any reason while he's going through this litigation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, maybe like a suspension until it's over or something like that. But he doesn't lose his job. His job is still there. You know?
Or pay,
or he can just and his pay is still there. You know, not even a suspension, just like, I don't know, just something to protect them. Because and Camelot's right. Unfortunately, the majority of the false accusers are women. So we can't say and men, but
here's a little tiny story. So I was having a conversation with somebody the other day, and I was talking about the one time that I was given the old grape, good old fashioned essay. And look, I kind of see both sides of it, but I had a girl take advantage of me one time a few years ago.
She took advantage of you.
Yes. Just went. So look, I also have to look at it objectively and not be a dumbass and naive about it. But that happened to me. Okay, so when I said this, the other person literally like laughed and was like, or like basically called me a bitch because why? Like, you're a dude. Like, what are you talking about? Like, that's not a thing. Like, laughing. So the fact that 98% of people will have that reaction, not everybody's great like you and has a good heart, Craig. Most men, especially men, will have that reaction. Therefore, courts will have that reaction. Everybody has that reaction. There's even people that defend it, saying that men can't even experience that because the British official definition for like sexual assault and grape requires penetration from a male organ, which is not correct at all, by the way. So like, people laugh at that kind of thing. Now, look, I have to look at it from an objective perspective. I'm a large, wide man. If a girl did that, I could throw them like a football, right? So there's ways you have to look at it. But so yeah, but the majority of the time, people see women as victims. It's kind of like the age-old story. Like, if you have a female friend, Craig, and her boyfriend breaks up with her, and she's crying on the couch, everybody circles around her and pets her like a little kitty, and they're like, "It's gonna be all right, dude." If you have a guy friend that does that shit, everybody's like, "Dude, get out of my house. What are you doing? Stop being gay." And everybody leaves, and it's awkward, right? So people look at shit differently. It's just natural, you know.
I do have a question, and this is, I think, the question that a lot of people have. How she took advantage of you, but it takes two to tango in a situation like that, right?
Yep.
Now I'm gonna get really blunt here, but you got to have a boner at some point. So how are you being taken advantage of if you know, like, if you still got that erection? I don't quite. I'm walk me through this, because
that's why I'm saying you got
to. That's an unfair question to ask.
I don't know. I mean, that's why
it is. No, now look, I'll speak to both sides of this.
Sure.
That's why I say I have to look at it objectively as a man, because I got to stop that at any point. Then again, I risk like assault charges for sure. And two, unfair question. Okay, because then you're insinuating men can't experience that at all, because they're, dude, look, I see an ass cheek. Craig, you can take your ass cheek out, and I don't know what sex, dude. I don't even know what sex you are, bro. I'm hard. It doesn't take much for me. You know what I'm saying?
Get a gust of wind and it'll get you going. All right, I understand that, and you put it that way. I understand.
Look, Greg, look. Now I'm gonna be completely honest. All right, okay. Because so I've had friends tell me, you know, they're getting freaky with a chick. Okay, a long time ago, years ago. And they're like, and this girl later comes back and says that they never like went to the police or anything, but they told one of their friends through a mutual friend that they didn't want to be involved in that, and they're ashamed of that person and they don't talk to him anymore. Keep in mind, there was no charges brought. It was just somebody said some shit. But I know for a fact my friend said, but like, I don't know, man. It was weird. She was like a faucet the whole time. So if she's a faucet and I'm rocking the freaking stiff, you know, it's the same thing.
Yeah. Okay. Just asking. I certainly didn't mean for it to sound like an unfair question. I was just,
Craig.
Sorry, I didn't mean to make you feel
Believe
like
all, man, Craig. Come
at
on.
all. Well, I certainly didn't mean to make you feel awkward at all. I just, like I said, I think that's the natural question I think most people ask. So
no, I agree.
Would be curious.
I agree. It is. So. It's hard you have to look at it. It's nothing's black and white, and men and women are not the same. So it's a valid question. You know what I'm saying?
Cool. Enterprise says, way to shove politics into gaming again. Well, this has nothing to do with gaming, actually, at all. This has to do with sports and society. So, Nintendo Prime, you're welcome, buddy.
Nintendo Prime, more like bitch Tendo Prime. Yeah, that's right. What's up?
Again. If you like Nintendo Prime, you can watch me swing a hot dog into my mouth, or at least attempt to yesterday. I tried that over on the Side Scrollers Plays.
No, you did not.
I tried to watch. I couldn't. I was like, this is like my internet dead. I gotta go.
It was pretty bad. I tried.
Oh,
I taped it up and everything. Chaos says, kind of disappointed you didn't add mayo to the hot dog, Craig. You could have become up famous. I'm glad I did not. And Slagla says, here's 2 for the Goomba. Show it to me, Camelot.
That's basically it right there. That's all you get. Slagla.
And Cajun Corey says, morning, y'all. Camelot, what's your thoughts on current day NASCAR?
Trash. Although I did enjoy Sunday because I've met Blaney 100 times and he's such a nice dude, and I like him a lot. And but no, modern day's trash. Xfinity Series is great, Truck Series is great, Cup Series is lame. To be honest, a Truck Series is very close to what I do in real life, so I really respect it and I love watching it. Cup Series seems more like WWE with like plastic cars, toe links breaking every time somebody scratches the wall. Politics is 90% of it's politics. You could be a truck driver in NASCAR, like for the Truck Series, which is Gen 4 bodies still, like architecture, which is the best, man. And you can kind of like, you could have my Twitter and race in the Truck Series probably, right? But as soon as you're at the Cup Series level, your social media has to appear a certain way. You have to hashtag BLM. You have to do all that shit, or they'll fire you immediately, dock your pay, kill your whole career, like all that shit. It's all politics, and I ain't about to sell my morals for money unless it's $100,000 and me bending over. Then it's different. You know what I'm saying?
All right, let's talk about something else.
We all have our number.
Oh yeah. I agree. No, Blab's lies. She's lie bitch. No, she's telling me I would absolutely never sell my morals. I'm a great person. And I'm like, Blab, you
First of all, I don't even sound like that.
You
But no,
sound
I
just
would
like
not freaking bend over backwards for a dude for a Ferrari. Sorry,
no,
not
but everybody has their money. Their logo, their price.
So
Eight,
bend over backwards for Harry Potter stuff, not a Ferrari. God, get it right.
damn. You do it for a special edition, special edition chase piece Ron silver pop. I mean, bro, you could literally buy like 600 of them. Would you $100,000?
I really wouldn't. Okay, that was just an example. Internet, I wouldn't.
$82 million, Blab. Bro, I'd do it for half, a quarter.
41 million.
Yeah, bro.
20 mil.
Look, see,
Oh,
Blab
great.
is thinking now. She's like,
Hey, listen, $1 million, nah. Like 20 men. Give me a second, I gotta decide.
Hold on, let me look at my bank account. Hold on.
We will find Blabs' price today. All right.
What's your price?
Your morals have a price.
That's a great
Yes.
game. What's your price? To whatever.
Bend over backwards.
Cajun Corey says, being tall, it's hard to take a selfie with Steph. It's just true.
It's true. Yeah, he
Uh,
posted a picture of us on Twitter for my birthday, and it's just my forehead because he's so tall.
I feel like I
So
met
tall.
Steph one time.
You
But I only saw,
did,
like, a
yeah, in
top of her head.
Dallas.
Yeah.
Mhm.
She's like scurrying by. Yeah, I didn't. It sucks because we were there again, me and Gary and Drinker recently.
I
And
know
we
I didn't get to go.
we got drunk every day. Not Gary, but me and
Oh,
Drinker got
nice.
drunk every day. We got drunk on the rooftop. We got drunk everywhere, and it was great. And like no one from G&G was there. You
I
and it
know.
was-
I wanted to go, and I got the dates wrong. I thought it was like the next weekend.
It'd be really great if, me and Dallas actually knew that happened. But, whatever. That's fine.
Craig's like, cool invite, bro.
I know. Damn. Just total sadness.
We'll just have to tell you next time, I guess.
There you go. Bad Dragon Knight says the nose power turbines cause Cam to lose control. Is that true?
Oh yeah.
Okay, sounds good. All right, let's get to the story why we had Steph on today. And Steph, by the way, you can hang as long as you like today, but whenever you need to go, you can go. But okay, so yesterday, listen, it's a big month, guys. It's October, which means it's Hispanic Heritage Month, right? It's a big deal. This is a thing that has happened over the last few years, which I apparently before October, it was never celebrated. But now we have an entire month built around it, which, by the way, is also Breast Cancer Awareness Month, October, I believe. So we have lots of things to celebrate and lots of things to be raising awareness of. So Bungie, the creators of Halo and a number of different titles like that, but most people know them from Halo. They put this tweet out yesterday, and it did not go very well. The tweet being Latin, Latino, Latinx. Is that a Latinx? Is more than just a location on a map. Just as being Hispanic is more than the language we might speak.
I just have to say, I'm really glad that Steph speaks Hispanic because apparently that's what they're implying here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She speaks
That's
Hispanic.
fucked up.
Speak Hispanic.
I didn't even realize. I was looking at something else entirely, and that's hilarious. God, white people, Jesus.
It's like being American is more than just location on a map. Just being American is more than like speaking American. Let's go out and speak that American.
That literally reminds me of like black and brown kids are just as smart as normal kids. Like that literally reminds me of that stupid shit. It's like, oh, dude, there's nothing wrong with them. They're just like normal kids. The white ones.
Well,
I'm like, what?
So they introduced their newest idea, which you may be asking yourself, what does idea mean? Well, the idea is Latin at Bungie. And if you click the link, which I did to learn more about it, IDEA is an acronym for Inclusion, Diversity, and Equity Association. So that is what it's for here. But nobody really read that. What they really read was this, because that's what happened. And you'll also notice on this the community notes. Where are the community?
Oh,
notes?
they're
They
gone
were there
now.
before. Hold on, let me do a quick refresh. They were there before because this got community. Yeah, the community notes were there earlier, and there were many versions of them.
They were
Wow,
there
the
1
community
hour
notes were
ago.
there. Now they're not there. Oh,
They removed the community.
breaking
notes.
news.
They pissed off the white women that posted it.
Well, the community notes pretty much said nobody uses these terms. Stop using these fucking terms, you idiots. Right?
Yeah.
And
Oh, I got the community notes right here. Hang on.
It's
okay.
funny.
Sounds good.
The
It's
community
funny.
notes changed because, like, at first, I think last night it said the majority of Latinos reject the term Latinx and think it's a slur, and then it changed.
Yep.
Yes.
Here we go. That's it. That's all they give us? One thing? Where'd they all
Yeah.
go?
Yeah, it's the issue is, man. It's this is the issue. And Blabs barely gets away with this. But this is the issue. Is white women, for some reason, are in control of language in the West. And I don't really know why.
Woke white women.
Especially woke.
Yes,
Yeah.
Woke white
It's all
women.
of them. Let's be fair. It's like all of them. So, like, the issue is for some reason, I don't know why, but they have been listed as the all-knowing, all-seeing arbiters of language in the West, and now they're trying to do it to Hispanics who don't give a damn They like, dude, just imagine, Steph, you're sitting there, you're eating your queso, you got your fajitas. You're like, yeah, this is great. I'm eating some, it's so delicious. You're dripping on
Regular
your
Wednesday night.
I love that shit, right? And then somebody comes in and be like, you can't say Latina anymore because that denotes the female gender. And that's not a thing anymore because us white women in the US have
Us white
determined
women, he says.
that it's evil to have a language that has feminine and masculine traits and actual words around those things. So we got to control alt delete all that, which is not easy. It's not easy in Spanish. Something you can't just freaking do. You can't just rip
it's
everything
also
out
like
of it.
Italian and
Yeah,
French
well,
too.
Yeah,
it all happened because our language is gendered. You know, Spanish is a gendered language, and therefore it's not inclusive. So that's how the whole Latinx thing started. Is, you know, they looked at the language and they're like, oh well, Latina and Latino, it's, you know, it's male and female, it's gendered, it's a gendered language, and they're like, that's not inclusive because what if you don't identify as one of the genders? So you know what, we're gonna do Latinx, okay? We're gonna change your whole language and do Latinx. And now if you know, that way you can feel just for like the few people that like don't feel included, who probably don't speak Spanish to begin with, you know, they're going to change it to be Latinx. It's so ridiculous.
They want to include such a small portion of people that they will willingly kill the rest of them, right? So these same women will march for gun control, which is rooted out of taking guns away from freed slaves in fear that they would, you know, do something dangerous because they were freed and newly awarded this freedom. So that was where that stemmed from. ID laws, voter ID laws. There's so many videos of dudes walking, you know, and they're objective, and they'll go to college campuses and they'll talk to 21, 22-year-old white women every time. And they're like, why should voter ID laws not be a thing? And they're like, well, people, you know, minorities are, you know, they're not educated and they don't know where the DMV is and they have no money because they're all gross and poor and awful and I hate them. And you're like, what? And they're like, that's why we need to protect them. And I'm like, no, you just hate these fucking people. That's what it is. You hate them. And you're trying to destroy an entire language for some clout on Twitter.
Language. It's like many. And it's funny because all these people advocating for, you know, the change in the languages don't even speak a second language. According to like learning English, which I don't even know what the hell that is, it's 1 in 5 people in America speak a second language at home. So it's literally all these people don't speak any other language except for English, who think they're superior. Learn another language, learn another culture, just sit down and shut up.
Dude, I speak trailer park. At least I got 2 of them. You know,
what's sad is they think that they're on the right side, you know, by trying to be so inclusive that they're literally stepping on an entire culture and trying to change, but they don't see that. You know, they're just like, you're the ones that need to be educated, you're the ones that need to learn, you're the ones that can't see that your whole language is actually offensive. You know, they're so indoctrinated and so woke that they can't see that their actual way of thinking is.
Look at how wrong
really
you
kind
are.
of racist and wrong. Yeah.
These people literally come when like a black person or a brown person beside them tries to speak up and they say, oh, let me stop you right there and tell you why you should be offended. And I'm gonna protest on your behalf, and you're just too ignorant to understand why.
It's that savior complex. Yeah.
Absolutely. They want to save everyone, but they only do it to post it online so everybody will like it. That's what they want. It's all about clout, baby.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Do you take offense to this?
Sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say, do you take offense to this when you see things like this? When you see, you know, the term Latinx or Latinx or whatever it is?
You can search Latinx on my Twitter. Every single time I see it, I'm just like, Latinx is a slur. It's a slur. I hate Latinx. Stop using Latinx. We don't like it. Every single time I see it. And like, I think Twitch, oh my gosh, for Hispanic Heritage Month, like fucking Twitch, a few years ago, did the craziest thing. It's Latin. They didn't even say like, oh, it's Hispanic Heritage. No. They said it's Latinx Heritage Month. And then they put some new like emotes on Twitch that were so offensive. It got so much backlash because like the emote were completely just stereotypes of like of Latina people.
Was it like
they
a
were so
pinata and a
bad.
hat?
It was like a chihuahua,
Tacos.
a burrito, tacos. Yeah, they were so bad. They're like, "Look what we did for you," and it got so much backlash.
Bro, no.
It's so bad, but they're just like there was a sombrero on there too. Yeah, it was so
dude,
bad.
no shit.
Maracas.
That's the same, dude. This is literally the same women that will be like Latinx, voter ID is evil, guns. The same women that do this shit put a sombrero on and go out for Cinco de Mayo at the whitest bar possible.
Oh
and
yeah,
dance
absolutely.
And drink green drinks and shit. They're like, oh, I love this culture, and I'm like, wait, you're co-opting the culture. Like you're doing what you say you shouldn't do. And it's like, oh no, it's different because I'm getting drunk with my white girlfriends. It's like, yeah, no, that's because Hispanics don't give a damn. Like if I wore a sombrero and a poncho to like freaking Mexico and was like, oh, and then like eating fucking fajitas and shit, they would be like, yes, white boy's crazy. Ooh,
yeah, they wouldn't care. They wouldn't
be like,
care.
Give him more tequila. Oh, look at him, he's crazy. They would be like, they'd love it, right? They would think it's hilarious. But white women take advantage of that. They're like, well, Hispanics generally are very nice people. So if we force this language on them, they'll just shut up and take it. I'm like, no, okay, no, we're not doing that. You know,
I feel a lot of hatred from Cody today towards white women.
If I was,
I started the stream, it's been.
I wish I was Hispanic a little, just so I could fight alongside Steph. Like, just be like, hey, it's okay. So people
just identify as they can't say no.
Oh, that's true. You can just identify.
Yeah, dude. Trans. I'm a trans.
Hispanic.
Transgender.
Trans Hispanic.
Or trans Hispanic. Yeah.
Transatlantic Ocean.
I just
trans race. That's what I think. That's what it's called. Trans
like, so you speak Spanish, Cody? I'm like, oh, Jays, oh, que pasa, por favor. Yeah, and they'll be like, oh, that's perfect. You're doing great. But yeah, don't ask me to say anything else. Be a translator, like in that one movie. They're like, okay, tell them that we want to get the drug money. And I'll be like, oh, que pasa, queso, taco. And they're like, what the fuck? I'm sorry. It was like that black lady that did sign language and had no idea what she was doing. She was like,
right.
Oh my god.
She could gain hired at different places and sign language.
Yeah, I'd be fucked.
So another blown cartridge comes in and says, don't you guys ever get tired of covering this culture war crap?
No.
Here's the thing, buddy, right? And I mean this with all sincerity. This is literally at your front fucking door. It's in your favorite hobby. The same thing that you love. It is getting slow. The tentacles of this shit is slowly coming in on your hobby. This is not normal. Like, listen to her. She hates this shit, right? She's the one saying, and you're, don't you guys ever get tired of this? No, this shit is important. You have to talk about this stuff. Your hobby is getting taken over by these fucking idiot white women in Seattle who think they know better than her down there. So get fucked, idiot. Yeah, I mean that with all due respect. And he says, you guys know that complaining about virtue signaling is virtue signaling, right? No, we're talking about how fucking dumb you are and how fucking stupid. It's okay to laugh at you because you're fucking retarded.
Yes.
How's that?
No.
Sound like Jeremy there
Craig,
for a second.
Craig, the reason we are here. Look, I look at it from both sides of it. That's what I do. I specialize. So the reason we're here, I didn't talk about this shit either until very recently. The only reason we made it to this point is because everyone either A, championed it, or B, were like us and was like, man, if we just ignore it, it'll go away and we won't have to worry about it. At least it'll be over here. Now it's fucking honest. Like, you can't escape this shit. You can't escape this shit. I got banned on Twitter because of freaking furry that has an OnlyFans that's like a pimple-headed like dude that says he's a girl, has gross ass hair, and soft and gross looking, puts shit up his ass, and I got banned. Also advocates for having sex with small children, unironically, on Twitter every day. I got banned for a joke. It's crazy. These people, they're running everything, and why? Because it's in the best interest of almost every single corporation right now to just let them and just suck them off as hard as possible and silence anybody who speaks otherwise. Or else they'll lose their delicious funding. No, we got to push back, Craig.
Look, the entire purpose of this show is to show you guys that you're not alone. You're not insane. This shit is ridiculous, right? Mm-hmm. That's the entire purpose of the show. common fucking sense. It is so lost in the gaming space. It has been taken over by these crazy activists who live in their bubble, who don't think outside of San Francisco, who don't think outside of Seattle, who don't think outside of LA, who only see what they see. But they don't realize there's an entire world out there that thinks they're freaking ridiculously dumb. And we laugh at them. Like, I have been pointing and laughing at this stuff for almost 20 years on the internet. And now I'm crazy because I've been doing it this entire time. No. The world shifted, man. The world shifted, and it's time to take it back. You got to take this shit back. Otherwise, you will not have the hobby that you love, the hobby that you appreciate, at least not in its current form, or at least not what you loved about it. Because how long until a Japanese game comes out with a girl with big old cleavage hanging out, and that's seen as problematic?
It already is,
right?
Yeah,
how long?
Like, the issue is you have people, and you got troll speak. It's the whole, like, here's why, like, I'm angry, and then you respond, and then they're like, oh, well, I didn't mean to trigger you, and then you respond again. You're like, dude, I'm not triggered. I'm just telling you, like,
I know.
This is an important conversation. And then they go, well, I guess apparently you are triggered because you responded. It's troll speak. It comes in 3 steps. It's always the same shit. At least they're paying you to say it, which is hilarious. They don't ever do that shit to me. They just don't even pay me. They just email me and like pictures of my house and my backyard. And I'm like, what the fuck you doing? Hold on.
Selfie in your pool.
They don't have a comeback to it, so they just say that you're triggered. It's like, what are you supposed to do? Not respond to your statement?
And if you do respond, then
what are you supposed to do? Just read it and be like, or read it and say, oh, you're right. No. If you don't agree with you, then we're triggered. No. We're simply responding to the statement. I hate when they do that. It's such a low IQ response.
Women.
It's a cycle.
It's a woman. It's a white
What
woman.
you do is you point and you laugh and you ostracize them for being so ridiculous and so stupid. And that is what you're seeing with this tweet. Everyone is pointing and laughing at this 15.6 million times. So what do you think? What do you think has done more good for Bungie? Their new idea, Latin at Bungie, or posting this tweet? Probably. What has done more good or harm? Probably the harm of them posting this.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yep.
I mean,
Tim P in the chat. So right. It says ignored equals C. I was right. Respond equals C. I was right. They're triggered. It's like it's just a thing, man. It's just a weird thing. And thank God that they come into chats and they pay $25 and then say, I'm so glad I paid all this money. This was hilarious. And it's like, are you like really literally retarded? There's a reason why there's people in poverty, and that's that guy. It's like, what? It's like, where'd all your money go? It's like, I donated to people to call them like bitches, make fun of them. Then I laughed, or I said I laughed through my tears. It's like, what? That's a weird financial decision, but okay, get on it, doggone it. Hell yeah.
I look at this thing from Bungie, and I see, they have this statement here about, this on the bottom of this. By the way, I seem to be cutting out whenever I share these things, so I'm just going to read this off the website. It says, as a group, we embrace that our culture is rich and diverse, which, by the way, I love to see how many Hispanics and Latinos are working out of Seattle, by the way, but whatever. We celebrate that the ties that bind us are wide-reaching and well beyond any monolithic assumptions that society might have about people who are Latin and Hispanic. Being Latin, like they have fucking 4.
Yeah, when I first saw that, I was like, are those vowels? Is that A-E-I-O-U? Nope. No, they're being serious. I thought it was a joke.
It's like you're trying to solve the Wheel of Fortune over here with the amount of shit.
They're really trying to not get canceled. So they're like, let's just put every single form of whatever they're trying to create.
Let's cover all their bases.
Cover all of our bases, so that way they don't get mad at us.
It's like when corporate companies release like statements, and it's like they did the hashtag LGBTQ, hashtag BLM, hashtag like 9 different things, and then they forgot like one of the like 2s or I's or pluses on LGBT, and then there's a whole subset of people that are angry, and then they fail anyway. It's a you're always trying to appease a group of people that can't be appeased, and they will eventually eat you.
Well, they're trying to appease these small groups of people while insulting an entire culture of people. So stupid.
They don't care about that.
Sal says, being called a racial, rather be called a racial slur instead of Latinx. Right. Thank you, Sal. Appreciate that. Apparently, you're not alone. Kyle says, is it Latino or Latino? I'm confused. Latino. Patrick Gestalt says, they're doing it with the Filipino community. Filipinx. Like that can't be real.
My.
That can't be real. There's no way that's real.
Filipinx.
I bet you it's starting to become real.
Man. That's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Another blown cartridge says gender dysphoria is real. Race dysphoria is not. I'm sorry.
Yes, it is.
It will be soon.
Who are you? Who are you to tell somebody they don't feel like a different race, you bigot?
Haven't you seen that?
Who are you?
This person identified as Korean and got like facial cosmetic surgery and everything.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's 10 years. It kind of reminds me. You had a conversation with somebody recently that said this exact same thing. I forget. It's the guy that worked on God of War, I think. I was watching that stream, and he would be like, I'm an expert because I know people, therefore I'll be able to talk about it. And then 5 minutes later, he'd be like, I don't know, ask a trans. I'm not an expert. I'm like, are you retarded? Anyways, it's fine. So that's what I got from that whole conversation. But he would do that. You would be like, okay, so what's stopping me from saying that I want to be a fox or a turtle? And they're like, well, that's just silly. And I'm like, well, what do you mean? Like,
it's not silly. There are
10 years. It's literally based. Steph, it's literally based on how you feel. Like that's the entire. It has nothing. It's just based on how you feel. Okay, so 10 years ago, it would be ridiculous to say I feel like I'm an actual woman with like a womb and shit. Which like okay, so that would be ridiculous 10 years ago. The pregnant man emoji would be ridiculous 10 years ago. What's to say in 10 years that transracial isn't 100% spoken of in the exact same way? And these same people, like the dude on God of War, the dude super chatting all his money for some reason. They would be the exact same person in 10 years saying the same thing. They'll be like, oh, well, they'll change their tune because you always have to allow for more wiggle room. So they'll be like, well, race dysphoria is a real thing. It is a real thing. But animal dysphoria is not, and species dysphoria is not. They'll just move it a little. They'll just keep moving it until this is how that works. That's all.
And they come back with, didn't mean to trigger you guys, grow up. Are you like, I'm sorry, friend. If you can't see this shit right in front of your fucking face, am I the one who needs to grow up? Or do you need to keep living in your fucking fantasy world? Because that's what it sounds like.
But to be fair, like I trying to look at it objectively from the language spoken and the financial decisions and how, they repeat like 7th grade kid like talking points. So let me give a 20-second story. I had a mutual family member stay at my house that had a kid, and this kid like came in and was like talking about bigotry, and like they were like 13 years old. They're like bigotry and like Trump's racist and shit, like out of nowhere, like in front of like 3 like grown-ups. I'm like, what? Who? No one cares, boy. But he's like talking about this, and he's in Alabama, like rural Alabama, and he has like half pink hair. He's a wild little kid. He's kind of fun though. But after he kind of like gauged the room, and like we talked back and forth about video games and stuff, like he went completely opposite direction. He went Call of Duty lobby, and was like saying F slurs and shit, like completely out of nowhere. But the way he was talking was literally very similar to like what you see in the chat sometimes, which means this guy, look, dude, I wouldn't go too hard on him. He's probably like a 14-year-old kid. That's that's kind of how this language always pans out. It's probably a 14, 15-year-old kid. And it's like the same as a Call of Duty lobby. They're doing whatever it takes to garner a reaction. And I used to be that dude. I remember playing Call of Duty, like Modern Warfare or Call of Duty 4 when I was 17. I joined a lobby. and you said you had any ebonics in your voice, bro, I was ready. You come if we all right, y'all ready? I'm like, oh bro, I'm about to go ham as fuck. You know what I'm saying? That's how you did it when you were on Xbox Live back in the day. Oh, you sound a little Hispanic? Oh, we're gonna have fun for the next 4 minutes when we're playing this game. The entire conversation is gonna be fajitas. Like this is how it's gonna be, right? So yeah, same shit. Right?
It's just fascinating, man. It's amazing to see just these people with their head in the sand trying to just justify. I mean, it's mind numbing, absolute mind numbing. Nintendo Prime says if Camelot ever met his fans, he would have a sneako moment. Bro opened up saying he hates women, even if he's joking. His 12-year-old audience isn't. Is your audience 12 years old, Cam? Do they understand that you're joking?
74% 24 to 30, 24 to 36. And the rest is like 36 to 48.
Oh, so you have grown ass people who can make their own grown ass decisions. Got it.
There's a reason why. Like what am I? I'm like, I think I'm 24th in the entire like running for super chats. It's because my audience isn't children, because they can't. There's a reason why dude can only like do $2 super chats. Like it's because he's using his mom's credit card and he doesn't want her to notice. You know what I'm saying? So, and this is the comic right here. So this is the comic. I want that reminds me of this guy because I was thinking about it here. I want to pull this up real quick and then we'll move on. Where is it at? Come on now. Where is it? There it is. This is this guy here. This is him.
What's he saying? Hold on real quick.
It says, the first panel says, hey guys, look how retarded I am. Her. And they're like, fuck off, retard. And he's like, joke's on them. I was only pretending.
Right.
This was the response I was trying to get the whole time. It's like, no one cares, bro. Thanks for the free months. Guys.
It's ridiculous. All right. Well, I guess we'll move on from that here. But it's like, whether you guys like it or not, it's here. And that's, it is what it is. Matthew came in and says it's a cult, plain and simple. If you don't worship, you're the heretic, and that's where we're at right now in the world. Right. Of course. Rich came in and says mainstream isn't covering culture war. Only places like here. All one-sided coverage in the mainstream, if at all.
Yep.
Got to talk about it. NZZ says I think Side Scrollers is doing a good job at its mission. That's right, to let everybody know that they're not fucking insane. Yeah, absolutely. Another blown cartridge says low IQ plus women. Brilliant guest. Hey, thanks for your money, by the way. Appreciate that.
No, like for real.
Muted.
Just the.
Yeah, I'm convinced it's a child now.
Yeah, like it's like low IQ. It's like how can you say low IQ while burning money like in a fireplace? Wow. Like what the fuck, man? Come on,
right.
Like at least just say it. Just say it. Don't put the super chat, man. Come on.
GK says money. It's getting to the point where the pronoun question is being forced in more spaces that these people will hate you for refusing to answer. Right.
Yep. The way you look at it, Craig, is there is like 2 places in the entire country that kind of is in support of these like language changing ideals, and like of course cutting like boobies off of a 9-year-old. Like there's like 2 cities in the entire country that kind of support that. The rest of rural America doesn't even kind of fuck with it at even a little. It's like, and that's the thing is people have never been to these places. Like I had a friend that lived in LA, and it's like expensive. It's like wildly, especially now. Like even 4 years ago, it was unbelievable. Now it's fucking unfathomable. And they're like, man, I wish I could move somewhere. And I was like, I mean, to be fair, Alabama was pretty cheap, even though my property tax went up from $700 to $8,000 in the last 4 years. But it's fine. But anyways, Alabama is pretty cheap. There's places in rural America that are really nice and they're really cheap, and you could keep your job, work from home. Your content creator, as this person was specifically, save a lot of money. And they're like, well, they're Hispanic, by the way, and they were like, well, I don't want to move to the South. And I'm like, why? And they're like, well, because I'm Hispanic. They'll kill me there. And I'm like, are you fucking retarded? You're entire all you do is scroll Twitter and watch Netflix movies of that dude freaking Key and Peele guy that like directs movies and they're horror
Oh
movies.
yeah.
And every single horror movie, it's like white people are scary and like horror and evil. Like every movie, it's like ooh, and then it's like a well-spoken black dude that's like got a good job is like the protagonist. And I'm like, stop fucking with me, Peele. Stop fucking with me. Like for right now, please. No, but he like people will take in that media and they actually think that shit, but they don't look up the numbers. Like the whole Southeast, every state has like 20 or less hate crimes across the entire state. Alabama isn't even on the list because for several years it had 0. California is number 1 on the list, 3,000 or more every single year. But they live in there getting shamed, getting yelled at, like actually experiencing real racism in places like that. And they're scared of places in other parts of America because of the movies they watch, which are put out by the same people in the exact same areas that they live in. It's insane. It's fucking crazy, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are people that just don't have life experience. You know, they don't. They don't really travel anywhere. They're glued to their phones. They're glued to their iPads. They're glued to social media and just watch movies all day. They have no life experience, so they don't really know. That's hilarious to me that they're just like, I don't want to move to the South. I'll get hunted and killed or whatever. It's like, dude, I lived in Texas for years.
No, Steph.
Oh my gosh.
No, Steph. The
same type of people who are saying that, like, oh my gosh, people in the LGBTQ plus community are being hunted in Florida. It's like, no.
They don't realize it, Steph. They don't understand that us white boys in Alabama, what we want is to wake up and come downstairs, come down the main staircase in the foyer, turn the corner, walk into the kitchen, freshly glossed, the floor, hardwood floor, and see our
want the 1950s?
See our Latina mama in like some small underwear and an extra large shirt, making me some steak and eggs for oh my god. And she's like, oh, puppy, you're awake. Oh god. Oh god, I love it. It's my favorite thing in the world. I used to hook up with this Hispanic girl. Oh my god, I tell you. But I don't know what it is, Steph, about Hispanic women and being crazy jealous. God, they'll stab you in the neck while you sleep.
That's the passion.
And it's weird, yeah, but they'll love you.
Week.
They will.
Steph is like, I've done that before.
They will climb on top of you and wear you out. And then make you some queso and some pitas and shit, and then kiss you and be like, "I love you, puppy," and then like make your bed. They'll do everything for you. But the moment of a name pops up on your text and it says Jenna from work, oh my god, she's like,
it's like Jake from State Farm. Who's Jake?
Hold on. Who's Jenna from work?
Well, it's that whole thing. Like, I'm doing all this for you. What more do you need?
Is this your new girlfriend? It's like, no, that's literally my boss. It's like, oh, okay, we'll see. I'll follow you to work. We'll see. I'm coming to your work. I want to meet Jenna. And you're like, no, please don't do that, baby. I promise you. She's like 84. We'll see. I'm going to go there. I slap her in the face. I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with you, baby? Make me some queso again. What are you doing? Make me have some queso come out of me. Don't do this. They always ruin everything. God, they're so perfect. And then they do that shit every time.
Love it.
Is she better than me? Huh? She better than me? She better than all this? And I'm like, she's 84. I don't know you. You're crazy.
Blabs, you want to read these off? Because I'm not good at reading.
Oh, okay. So Aiden Perez for $10 says, as a Mexican American, I absolutely hate the term Latinx because it's the most stupidest word I ever heard. I would rather be called Chicano American of Mexican descent. They can piss off.
Yeah.
Oh, Blab should just read all the super chats from now on. With her
nailed it.
Voice.
Go ahead, Blabs.
Brandon Martin for $10. It's so hard being a Democrat with social liberal ideals, supporting gays and trans rights, free healthcare, etc., while also cringing out of my mind over all this crazy activist stuff happening.
Oh my god, that's so accurate. My dad, my entire life, my dad was like a strong Democrat. My entire life. And in like 2017, he called me and he's like, I think I'm a Republican or something now. And I'm like, what do you mean?
It's that whole meme where like I didn't leave the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party left me because you start to like see all of these things and things that they're doing that you just don't agree with on a moral level. So you're like, wait a second, am I a Democrat now? Or am I just like, am I center? I don't understand. And if you are a Democrat and you start having these, moral and ethical like things in your mind and you speak out and say like, well, I don't actually agree with that, they get mad at you even though you agree with them on a lot of issues. It's like the Democratic Party has left me because I I can't get on board with all of these things that are happening. I just don't agree with them.
You can quite literally, Steph. You could repeat every talking point, like of far left, whatever you want. You could repeat everything and then be like, but to be honest, on Twitter, you could say this. I agree with all this, and I am a strong supporter of all this, but I don't think a 7-year-old should be put on hormones. And they'll be like, "Oh wow, you're just fucking alt-right, Steph. You're
alt-right,
gross, bigot." Yeah. And you're like, "What the fuck, bro? I just said, I just don't believe one of the things." And it's like, you have to believe all of them. All of them.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no, fuck that. Like, I'm not a part of your tribe. I don't do tribalism. All right. I'm not a Native American. I didn't grow up in Native American times. No. All right. Am I in North Africa with the tribes? No. I'm a white guy. I'm a white guy. I'm in the trailer park tribe. And that's running from the Rottweiler at 3 a.m. and he's off his chain. And it's fucking terrifying, bro. Like that's all I have. That's my culture.
Which once again brings us back to Bungie, where congratulations, you Latinx for the Latinx at Bungie.
So seen.
Way to go. Congratulations. You've been acknowledged by Bungie, Steph. Congratulations. It's crazy. Oh my God. Big Grease came in as a member, says video games having themes that might challenge the player's beliefs is nothing new. People's tolerance for such challenges is going down. Not good, in my opinion. Thanks, Big Grease. Appreciate you. Matthew says, I agree with NZZ. You guys are some of the best content on YouTube. I hope the show never ends. Also, Camelot, I'm glad you're feeling better.
I'm just glad my black eye's almost gone.
Black eye.
Yeah, black guy. He almost left my house finally. No, it's a black guy. Not a black guy. No, damn you, Tyrone. No,
Tom Sawyer novel.
No, I was racing Saturday and I got in a brutal wreck. Oof. Like a NASCAR highlights of the decade wreck. And it like I couldn't breathe for a while. And it was wild. It's just it's one of those things that you don't experience. No one really experiences. Like you're just sitting there and you're like, I'm glad I did not die. And then somebody hits you going like 120, like just flat from stop 120. It's pretty crazy. Thank God for all the fucking safety devices and everything I have. But I think when I got hit, it pulled my helmet forward because I have a strap that connects to my shoulder so I don't break my neck when I get hit. And I think it pulled my helmet towards me, and like I had a black eyes on both my eyes, like I got like surgery or something, like filler or some shit. It was pretty rough, but it worked out, lived, and we're getting more sponsorship opportunities. I guess they liked the video or the photo of me getting just destroyed.
Well, I'm sorry and congratulations.
I'm sorry and also congratulations.
Scarfy said, hunted by who? A rival cartel gang? Right. Talking about people being hunted, right? Yeah. Medium Transmission says, Cartridge was a troll, but he's right. The cultural war conversations are tiresome. I get you guys think it's important, but it's never ending. You're right.
That's because it's never ending to be pushed on people. That's why the conversations seem to be never ending, because it's like one day there's something new to talk about because they're pushing stuff and it's just never ending on that side. So we're just always talking about it. That's why it seems that way.
Yeah, I totally understand. It's like I said, I look at things objectively, and I totally understand why people are like, "Fuck, I wish people would stop talking about this," because I kind of feel that too. But then like something happens the next day, and it like pertains to something that I am passionate about, and I'm like, "Fuck, I have to talk about this," and you can't really tiptoe around it, right? Because the more you tiptoe around shit, the more that they're going to take it, right? Because you got to understand that these people aren't like us, right? So me, Steph, Blabs, we'll look at a situation objectively, and we will, not Craig, of course, but all of us. No, we'll look at a situation objectively. We'll think about it and be like, you know what? These people are passionate about this thing. I'm not going to worry about it. And when those people hear that we think that way, they're gonna take that inch and they're gonna stretch it to a fucking mile.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're gonna take advantage of everything that you love because you're going to let them, and they know that. They know
that, and that's why there's such a huge shift this past year. I feel like there's been such a huge shift and a huge push and a big pushback to it as well.
Sorry, I was just highlighting a few comments, which I think nail it right there. It says, we want to be left alone. They don't want to leave you alone. Right, right. Exactly. And I think that's important. And as if no one speaks up, we'll all be gaslit and thinking we're the odd ones. But no, this shit is just odd. It needs to be called out. Right. 100% GeoBrew. Thank you very much. Well, anyway, I got one more story for you guys today, but I want to read off a couple of these Director Nations and Rumble rants real fast. Sal says, mentally ill white liberals trying to control another race way speaking is because they think they're superior. They legit think they know what's best for them.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And Heretic came in with the 5. Says, good evening. It's been a while. Good to see you, Heretic. Says, the cloud world is getting worse, and I'm getting tired of it. It's creeping into schools here. My boss was telling me about his kids' school. Luckily, my kids are school's normal. The podcast is a piece of normalcy. Bring on Mega Man. Thanks, Heretic. Appreciate it.
Mega Man.
Yes. Dude says, I don't follow sports ball, but I do follow the channel. Baseball doesn't exist. I know Trevor from there. The channel is great, and they have weird stories from around baseball. FYI, I'm only using the sports ball term ever since all the athletes started hating me for how I vote. I stopped caring about them once they started doing that. Right, I understand that. And so they also made October Breast Cancer Awareness Month because it's all about the boobies. Okay, sounds good.
Thank God.
Irish Jed says, woke ideology is spreading in Latin America countries. I have old classmates in Honduras that are advocating for it. Wow. Irish Jedi. That's crazy. Honduras. Dude followed up and says, how about Bungie makes a game that isn't monetized to hell and back? Destiny is trash, and it wasn't because of Activision, because the problems have persisted since they split. And then Stardust Viking came in with a $100 Rumble rant saying,
damn,
common sense. Let's stink and go. Look at it right there. Stardust Viking. Balls in the chat, please. Let's effing go. Outstanding.
Steph can say balls.
Balls. Dude,
Balls.
Rumble's been stepping it up, man. I think I had almost $3,800 in Rumble rants last pay period.
Oh, wow.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Nice.
Rumble's been the viewers on Rumble are passionate, and it's really awesome to see another platform. I hit 20K followers finally on there, and the goal. I talked to my Rumble partner, and I was like, "Can I get to 100K somehow?" And he's like, we're gonna make it happen." I'm like, "Oh, thank God, let's do this. Let's fucking go." So,
nice.
Speaking of getting rammed in the ass, if you want to check this out, I shared it. It's a short photography still video of my my smashing. Right here. So here you go. It's a photography still, but this happens way faster than it looks, but then I'm just chilling. God, just nailed me right in my goose.
Oh.
Was the other guy okay?
Yeah, he was fine. He's a little beat up, but yeah, he's probably going about 110, 120 when he hit me. And I flew like a little baby.
Jesus.
These cars weigh 3,400
how quickly he stopped too.
Yeah, 3,400 pounds, by the way, is what these cars weigh. And he launched me like a little kitten. It's crazy, man.
Jeez Louise. Well, I'm glad you're all right, man. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Labs, read them off.
All right. Dwayneson for $4.99 says, with culture war things, it's tiresome, but they want you to be tired to the point of apathy. Stay vigilant, my ninjas. I would say vigilant, which is not a word. Got the Craig virus. Medium Transmission for $5 says, do you guys ever think there's a line? Like people were complaining about mixed race marriage and gay marriage at one point. What's too far?
Right. And, I think that's a good question. I think the line is 2016, maybe. That's the line, right?
It's so hard to say because that's what I do. So I look back objectively at things. I actually had this conversation with somebody yesterday where like older people are so angry at social media. They're so angry at all these things. They're so angry because kids don't trick or treat anymore. Kids don't go out and ride their bikes anymore. Kids are sitting in front of a tablet all day. And people are so angry about it. And I'm like looking like objectively. And I'm like, look, things are different. When I was growing up, like my parents and grandparents were angry at what I was doing. And then now we're angry at children for not doing the things that we did in the 90s. Mm-hmm. And I have to think objectively. I'm like, does that mean it's wrong? And then that makes me look at situations like this. It's like, well, gay marriage was, looked at, and I 100% supported it. I didn't care, like, when I was, a teenager, when it was going down, and like, and I still support it. Fuck it. Who cares? I don't, well, to be fair, preface it with, I don't really support any marriage at all, but if to include it, yeah, it doesn't bother me at all. But then you're like, oh, well, is this another one of those things where times are just changing? But it's hard to like say that, because especially with children and trans like affirmation, I just can't get on board. It's just not going to be, it's just not possible. I can't do it.
I don't mind mixed race marriage, gay marriage. I don't mind any of that. Like, as far as marriage goes, you choose the person that you want to marry and you be happy and, live your life how you want to live your life. I think the line with me a lot of times comes when they try to take kids. And I think that that's why there is such a shift. They go after kids. And I think that that's why there is a shift in culture right now, because they've stepped over that line of trying to take, parental rights away from the parents. They're coming after kids and allowing gender affirming care for children under like a certain age. And
don't use that term. That term's bullshit, man.
They're trying to, mutilation for children. Yep. And if the parents disagree, then that child can get it anyways. Schools keeping secrets from parents for the sake of the child. Like, I think that they're trying to disrupt a family unit. They're trying to disrupt the relationship between a child and their parent. Teachers seeming to think that they know better for this child that they only see for a few hours a day, as opposed to a parent that has been there for their child since the beginning of their life. I think that that's the line. That is the line for me. I think that's the line for a lot of people. And I think that that's why there is such a big pushback at schools, at school district meetings, at parent teacher conference meetings. You see riots happening outside of school with parents there. Children are now walking out of their schools because they're, trying to make a statement to the school board that, we don't want any of these things taught in schools, or, we don't want boys in a girl's bathroom, things like that. And so I think that is a line for a lot of people. So I think that that's the line for me.
Yep.
And I've kind of, made that apparent on Twitter. But yeah, I think that that's my line. Anything that has to do with like, mixed race, racial or marriage, gay marriage. I don't care about that stuff like that. If you choose who you want and you can go and get married, that's totally fine. But if it has to do with children, then I have a problem with it.
That's exactly kind of where I am. And what people don't seem to understand is 700. I think the number is 790 children below the age of 15 from the years 2019 to 2021 had gender affirming surgery or double mastectomies, stuff like that. But before the age of 15, let's just round up and say 800 kids in the U.S. based on the National Health Statistics had surgeries from 2019 to 2021. That number is probably up 5,000% in 2022, obviously, because you see how much clout. TikTok, it's a big deal on TikTok. You get infinite clout for being trans as a teenager. And what is the most important thing for any teenager? It's to fit in. It's clout. It's attention. That is so important. We were all there once. I was that guy for a short period of time. I was an emo kid, a scene kid. I tried everything I could because you're just trying to find yourself. So inserting like something that is irreversible in that conversation is dangerous. And it's all stemmed from TikTok. That's what this is kind of, it's reinforced by TikTok. Who owns TikTok? The fucking Chinese government owns TikTok. What do you see if you're in China and you're scrolling TikTok on a Chinese TikTok account? You see educational content.
A lot of that stuff is banned in China.
That's all you see is educational content in China. But in the West, you see like everything. Gender affirming care, trans shit, like all this like psycho, like women saying psycho shit, like sex with children, all of that. That's pushed on the West. Who pushes those algorithms in the West? The Chinese government. I think it's all the big giant ploy to destabilize the people in the U.S. so they can come in without firing a bullet, and we'll just suck them off. There's already people saying communism's great everywhere. Like teenagers that support it. Communism, communism. It's there. That's what they're trying to do. And hopefully I'll be dead as fuck by the time it happens.
Right.
That's the spirit.
I mean, once again, and people go, how does this have to do with gaming? Right. The story that initiated this entire conversation has to do with Bungie throwing fake bullshit, like literally changing language, right? Changing language around. And there is an entire generation that's going to think, well, yeah, okay, maybe I am Latinx or whatever. I will change. And you're talking about changing an entire language, like because some fucking asshat in Seattle who is 25 years old thinks she knows better than you. She knows better than your entire culture. Fuck her. Fuck her.
Yep.
Whoever that may be. I don't even know who that is. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's right, Steph. You got that? Yeah.
Let 'em know. Sorry, I'm fired up today. By the way, here's the meme you guys were talking about earlier. And I think that this is how most people, feel at some point.
Yep. Classic. That's basically me.
Right. I think that's all of us.
You want to know where it changed for me, Craig? This is where it changed for me. It kind of changed for me a little bit when I voted for Obama in 2008. I think it was 2008. I can't remember. And I had health insurance. It was $37 a pay period or a month. And I remember I got a letter from Cigna. I think it was Cigna. And it was like, your premium is going from $37 a month to $284 because of the Affordable Health Care Act. And I canceled that shit so hard. And I was like, well, I done goofed, boys. And then of course it only got worse from there on out. You know what I'm saying? So like now my taxes, oh my God. The only people that are not in favor of abolishing the IRS don't pay in. Because they need to burn that bitch down. When tax season comes, dude, I'm like looking at my house, my air turns on, I hear it, I start crying. It's over, bro. And no thank you. My property tax, I got a letter in the mail. Property tax went from $3,600 to $8,000. The year before, $1,600. The year before, $780. What the fuck is going on, Craig? Somebody do something. Somebody do something, Craig. It's crazy.
Well, I'll tell you what. And let's go finish up with this last story here. Just a real quick hit here. Do you guys know what's happening tomorrow? October 4th. You guys heard about this?
May the October 4th be with you.
No.
Is that what it is? I don't know.
There's they're doing warnings on cell phones. There's a nationwide cell phone warning thing.
It's called Scream at Us.
See, I thought that already happened yesterday, but it was actually a bunch of Amber Alerts.
Where the hell you live, Blabs?
I know. Why are there so many?
It was just one for the same girl. They were updating it.
Oh, okay. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's just one girl. Who cares?
So think about this. All cell phones, televisions, and radios are going to go through a nationwide test at one time at 2:20 p.m. tomorrow.
Okay. That's fine. I'm about to say if it was 4 a.m., somebody's getting banned.
But it's going to last for 30 minutes.
Oh my God.
Oh my.
No, we're turning my phone's getting turned to hell off.
Wait, a whole beeping sound for a constant 30 minutes.
It says maybe noises from your electronic may be loud for a duration of 30 minutes.
Maybe if you don't silence it. Because if I can't silence it, I'm throwing that bitch in the
yeah, there's got to be a way. They can't have it beeping for 30 minutes. Like, think about how this affects people with autism or something, where it's triggering sensitivity and all that.
A great point. Be a hilarious comic strip for this. Somebody needs to do this in the chat. You're gonna get famous. You ready? It's a girl hiding in her closet, and a guy broke in, like a rough looking guy. And he's like, where are you, girl? I'm gonna find you and tear you up. And she's sitting here, and she's like, he'll never find me in here. I just got to be quiet. And then all of a sudden, her phone just beeps, and it says National October 4th test alert system, and it's just beeping, and it just shows the guy turn around. Be hilarious. Right. Do it. Somebody do it. Come on.
Boba Fett says, what if you have a meeting, or maybe you're in class?
Yeah, all the kids
taking a test.
Sounds like something a bigot would say.
What are they preparing for? That's my question.
It says this is a nationwide test of the emergency alert system issued by the Federal Emergency Management Agency, that's FEMA, covering the United States from those hours. This is only a test. No action is required to the public. That's what it's going to say. I mean, what are they testing? I don't quite know, but that's the scary thing.
Yeah, Dick Around Brown said something nuclear. That's where my mind went. That's where my mind went when I heard that. I was just like, oh shit.
Bro.
Wasn't there a test in Hawaii 2 months ago, 3 months ago, where they're incoming missile, and they're just JK, by the way, it's a test. But they didn't tell you it was a test.
No, Blab, please. I live literally a mile away from a huge military base. Please, God, don't hit me. I live in like there's a
Beach
NASA
and-
base here. There's like a bunch of corporate offices for all kinds of like missile defense companies. There's all kinds of shit here, and I'm like, bro, man, I wish I lived in rural Alabama instead of big city Alabama. They gonna get
all the
BHN over on
sirens are.
Rumble said the test is only going to be for 30 seconds to a minute, but it'll be sometime in that 30-minute window. So, anyways, yeah, you can. I would think that if you want to turn off your phone, go ahead. But at the same time, I've also seen people talking about like wrapping their phone in tinfoil and stuff.
Yeah.
So, which is always awesome.
Dude, Craig, you could do, Craig, this is a great idea. If you are into the stimulation, get your phone, wait for the 30-minute, shove up your ass.
What's with
And
you and ass
it'll be a
today?
surprise,
Anyway,
Blabs.
real question: what if you
We'll
have to
start
call
shooting
the
ropes
cops and all
and
of a
shit.
sudden it beeps while you're on the phone? Like,
These
what
are all
happens?
good questions. All good questions.
Yeah, especially Cody's ass one. Yeah.
Yeah, just
Blabs,
From Hal Baloney. Baloney? Sorry.
Baloney.
$8.
Hal.
Baloney. Oh wow, I'm just special today. Hal Baloney, $8. October is also LGBT History Month because of course it is.
That's true. It is.
I thought we already had like
gosh.
8 of those.
It's in June. It's like the Pride Month, and then now it's History Month. Like I feel like
Yeah,
every
it's
month is gonna be
History
like
Month now.
Rainbow Month.
You get the gays away from me, damn it. I'm tired of you.
Shane Bentley for $10. Y'all are exactly right. I've seen all this firsthand being a pharmacist. I recall having to check a prescription for Lupron, puberty blocker, in 2016. I couldn't morally verify it. It's gotten worse.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And like new reports are like, oh, there's a new report that you should put them on even earlier at 7 years old. And I'm like, yeah, you want to know why? Because big ass pharma's like, yeah, if we can get 30% of the country on this shit at 7 years old and they have to take it for the rest of their life. Oh my God. Could you imagine the monies? And of
then it
course,
would
all the
limit population.
politicians, the politicians support it. Oh yeah. And then what
Well, because
Blab said,
they get money from it too.
100%. And what Blab said, Bill Gates is licking his chops because all he cares about, all he's been marching for the last 20 years is population control. He says it openly. Population, kill them all. And we're so shocked to why he's like,
But they don't do
take
like
the
birth
vaccine.
control and all that stuff and like sex ed in
Yeah.
countries that are very populated and very uneducated about this stuff.
He
Condoms.
supports it all. He supports all that shit that just so happens to affect the population going forward. I'm so shocked. So shocked. He wants everybody to die. But he's Thanos. Like all these billionaires they all turn into Thanos. They're like, you know what? I want to save the world. And I'm like, why do you feel obligated? Because I can't do anything else because I have so much money. I can just do whatever I want. So I'm gonna save the world. I'm like, how you gonna do that? And he's like, I'm gonna kill half of you. And I'm like, wait, hold the fuck on for 2 seconds, Thanos. Well, I didn't agree to this. No, thank you, Bill Gates. Damn.
Right. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. I think that was a pretty heavy show outside of the Super Mario Wonders Nintendo commercial we saw at the very, very beginning.
Well,
Which,
we do have some memes to make you feel a little bit better.
Let's do it. Meme us.
I do have a couple of them. Yeah.
Yeah, I have them pulled up for you.
Hold up there, Blabs.
Okay, so the serious man says, "Let's go," and we are all the Mega Man fun
Look at Craig. Oh God, he made Craig Willie.
Wiley, Dr. Wiley.
Dr. Willie. I've called him Willie since I was 9. Dr. Willie. That's what I always called him.
I think you should go for that. Then we have this one. What am I supposed to watch on a Tuesday morning from the Serious Man? And it's basically nerdotics and side scrollers.
That's Rebels.
I like that. You're Sabine. You'd probably be a better live action Sabine than what we have. And then this one's like what people think gatekeeping is by Jack. It's like, can we join? No. What it is actually change literally everything about what you all enjoy and make it not fun for anyone so I can join. No.
Yep.
That's
Right.
gatekeeping.
Accurate.
It's true. And there we have it.
There you go. All right, that's nice. Quick reminder: tonight I'll be on Tuesday night's main event. I'll be over on the Geeks and Gamers channel.
Nice.
It's gonna be great. I'm sure we'll be talking about some of this stuff. Maybe. Yes, Cam.
And also, I'm still banned on Twitter. If anybody can give me a old hashtag free Camelot, that'd be great. I'm on my 128th appeal. They just automatically deny them like within 4 seconds every time. It's never been manually reviewed because if it was, it'd get turned over. It's so stupid. We live in a weird time. So,
yes, love it.
you
Yes,
go.
we do live in a
Just
very
gave you a
weird
free
time.
Camelot.
Steph, where can everybody find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and on Kick, all at My Nerdy Home, and on YouTube as well. I don't know. Maybe I'll
Awesome.
start uploading content. But see.
Maybe. Well, you'll be able to find me over on the Side Scrollers Plays channel in just a little bit. I encourage everyone to head over there and find me there. You can see me try to swing a hot dog into my mouth yesterday. It's right there
I need
waiting
to
for
watch
you to
that
watch.
video.
No, you don't.
I do. I kind of want to watch it.
I
Let me
do.
look it up now.
And Spawn Killer wants to know, where's Adam? He'll be on tomorrow with Flawed. It's Wednesday. So Wednesdays. Yes. So it should be great. So with that said, guys, appreciate everybody popping in today. Go follow Blabs over on Twitter and go follow her over on Kick as well. And yeah, appreciate the support. Appreciate the I said, sometimes it's okay to have hard discussions and these deep, good discussions, but I appreciate Steph popping in, providing your insight on everything. Cam, I appreciate your crazy ass stories, and Blabs, great job today. All right, you guys, we'll catch you guys later on. Have a great rest of your day. See you on the Side Scrollers Plays channel. We'll see you tomorrow with Adam here on this channel. Remember, people are going to try to keep you down. Don't let them. You guys got a goal. Go get it. See you guys later. Bye-bye.